I made a Max for Life patch called Launch Control, and it communicates via sysx. So this is the trigger matrix or the BLM input 1, and the monitoring is set to input. And after this patch is an external instrument, which sends also to MIDI port 1. On channel doesn't matter, on audio doesn't matter. So sysx in, sysx out. And this is the patch which controls Ableton Live. For example, to control this red box, which has 12 scenes and 16 tracks. Okay, so we can move this grid then with the MIDI box BLM. That's the thing. And the red box itself is a dummy red box. It's a dummy remote control use surface. Look at this. It's called TM5, and it has to be set on the first entry of this remote control list. The input and the output doesn't matter because we control it via sysx. This remote control script is only here to make appear this red box, and the rest, the moving of the red box, or what to do inside the red box, the fire clips or so, is then made with Max for Live, and the button feedback and so on is sent via sysx to the MIDI box BLM with a 32-bit microcontroller in it. So it's a modified, but the source code is free. Also, this Max for Live patch. Okay, let's do things with this. One thing. This is the remote script. It's from the internet, and I just changed here the number of tracks to 16 and the number of scenes to 12 rows, and that's all of it. That's really all of it. What can we do here? We have here different modes. We have the setup button, which pops out a Max window where it's detailed described how to set up this patch and how to get this all working. So this was the setup. It's just a description what to do to get this running. Okay, next of it is these 3 buttons. The first one sets the BLM into different modes, and on each different mode it transmit and receive different formats. For example, when we go to TM internal, this is for sequencer mode, for sequencer version 4, for MIDIFy or for MIDI box, to hardware communication to the hardware sequencer. It's the standard protocol. Once beside this is the sysx mode, which is needed for the launch control. So sysx comes in from a MIDI track where USB 1 is selected from this device, and the monitoring is to input, and that's all of it. So sysx comes in to this patch, we make things in Ableton and so on, and dump out LED data via sysx to an external instrument. Again, trigger matrix is USB interface, channel doesn't interest, and audio also doesn't matter. And that's about the communication. And there's also a CC script thing that sets the BLM into a mode where each button transmits a CC. So CC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 or so, and channel 1, CC 0 is to 15, and channel 3, 0 to 15, and so on. So each has its own CC command and also a receive command, so we can light up also this LEDs via CC. So we can use a custom remote script from Ableton and could use it via remote script. But I decided to use the sysx protocol to communicate to Ableton for this task. So I go to sysx mode. So in sysx mode, we transmit sysx via sysx protocol to Ableton Live and then again. For this, I made two charts. One is the TM5 sysx receive chart. Why TM5? Because I developed this for my own microcontroller MIDI box, Triggermatrix 5, with a lot of displays and other UIs. And it has basically the same circuit diagram on the matrix like this. So we can reuse this protocol and this protocol in the same max patch. And it's also the same sysx protocol exclusive the LCDs here. Okay, we don't have LCD here on MIDI box BLM. So, but the other things like clear the matrix, shortcuts like clear all LEDs from this with a single command with just a few bytes, then we are here on the right train. So activate 8 LEDs at once. So we can, with one sysx string, activate a couple of LEDs. So we spare some MIDI traffic with this. We can also activate single LEDs via sysx. This is also the color code. We have 3 colors here, blue, green, and cyan. The keyboard function is only for devices with LCDs. Print 8 character long string on the LCD, which we don't have on the MIDI box BLM. Here's the ASCII code, the normal, some example usages, and so on. And we also have a TM5 sysx send protocol, which is for the BLM, what it sends out to Max for Live, for example. So, for example, encoder, we don't have encoders here, but I have on my device. Okay, just ignore it. We can go into the controller mode via sysx also. The controller mode is the same like here, there's 3 modes. Okay. Then we have some other UI function which we don't have on BLM. We have the faders. On Triggermatrix we have 16 faders. Here we have only 4 faders. 1, 2, 3, 4. One for length, one for velocity, for example, for a clip node. Yeah, that's about the protocol. You get this for free, of course. So, let's do some things. First thing to do is go to help, to setup. Then a box opens which describes in detail what to do to get this running. It's not really very complicated. As soon as it's set up correctly, we go to sysx mode, click here, and go to launch mode. We need to press this BLM mode button so the patch knows that we use a MIDI box BLM and not a Triggermatrix 5. Okay, but then we go to launch mode. You see the red box here? We can move this around with these buttons, left and right, up and down, okay? So just move this up. It jumps 2 tracks, and up and down also 2 tracks. Okay, that's about the navigation. And you see these tracks here. You will see it also here. Right, right, right. And up and down. Down, up. It's the same like, okay. What we here see is following. The first 4 rows here is for arm a track or a couple of tracks, solo a track, which is not exclusive, so we can solo a couple of them, a mute track, and stop clips. See this? Press play, press stop. Okay, all this function are observed from Ableton Live. So when we mute here tracks, then it will automatically mirror this on this device, of course. This is for stop all tracks. Okay, the blue cells are clips, and the blue ones are stopped clips. And the turn off slots here, there is no clip. Okay. And when I press one of these, it gets green. So this is in playback mode, green playback mode. Okay, we go here to the first track and arm the track. Let's say here's a stop button in there. So we record the track now. You see the color differences now. Blue mean there's a clip, but it stopped. Green, playback clip, and cyan, it's a recording clip. Press again, it gets green, so we're in playback mode now. Okay, that's about this. Why are the LEDs here flashing? That's easy. It's step 1 of the loop from a MIDI clip, for example. It's the same like this here. And when it goes to the beginning and it starts from new, then there's time that here is some blinking. So this indicates step 1 of loop. Okay, these buttons are free for your own needings. Don't use them. On this page, on the launch page, we don't use faders at the moment. Yeah, I think, yeah, there's a stop all. This is navigation. Navigation. And from here to the top, these 12 slots are to fire entire scenes. It's normal. And yeah, so these are the 12 scenes to 16 track red frame, which we see here. Okay, let's go to a track. So the track is focused now. And when we go to the patch, press the clip edit button, then we see all the data which is in the one MIDI clip that I fired last in the launch page. Okay, what does we here see? We see a running LED. Okay, this means when we see this running LED and we see it over and over again, then we have a MIDI clip here with 1 page length. Page length is 16 steps. So it's a 4/4 thing only, but when you need other takt rates, just program it. Okay. These buttons also are here to switch through the timeline in this clip. Okay. Here we see the first page, the first 16 steps in 16TH resolution. Go to the next, and we could set here another nodes. So we switch between the two pages, page 0 to 15 and 16 to 31. Yeah. Okay, that's about this. And we can also change the loop length. For this, we use this button, hold and press it. And okay, it's a little bit complicated with one hand. Okay, these two buttons here are for changing the loop length with this shift button. For example, when I press and hold this button and press one button, then this page here is looped. The fourth page. 1, 2, 3, 4 page. When we do it again with this button, press and release, we loop the third bar here. Okay. And we can change also a loop section. For example, press and hold this button, and now we loop the first 4 bars. Okay. The mechanic between this, the muscle memory is press and hold this, press some button, hold this, press another button, release this 2, and we set a loop page here. Okay, that's about the shift functionality. And so we move on the timeline with this button without shift. And so we go to the different octaves of a clip. Okay, and the blue lights means that on this octave and this page are nodes, and we can edit them. So we don't have to search for it. We just press one button or so. So we know that there are nodes in there. Okay, so this is when we press this button, then we have here 1 octave plus a bit of the next octave. So C2 is, this row is also always C. Okay, it's C minus 2. When we press this button, then this row is C minus 1, C 0, 1, 2, until 7 or 8 or so. That's the last one. Okay, so these buttons could be free for other things. That's about this, and let's go in a pitch and set a node. Okay, this is the velocity of a node, 127 and 0 around, and this is the node length. Okay, so on this position, a node length set here is 16 steps long. Move it a bit more. Now it's 4 steps long, 5 steps long. Okay, so we can change here the length of nodes, and here the velocity of a node. The velocity itself is not color-coded because we have only 3 colors here, and 2 colors we see here. The first one is green, which means there is a node set. The blue ones just indicate that the node is this long. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 16ths long. Yeah, that's about this. That's sequencer clip edit mode. It's at the moment under developing, and it will not work with Ableton Live 11 because Ableton Live 11 had a problem with the Max for Live dictionaries, which are used for the new node. So when you are in Max for Live and you get the clip data from Ableton, you become the MPE nodes and so on. These are the new things. And for this, we need a dictionary, and this had a bug in Ableton Live 11. In 12, this is solved. So this will only work on Ableton Live 12 so far. Yeah, you can do whatever you like with this controller. I don't care. Yeah, you get the patches and some information how to handle this. And the launch control, the patch. I open this patch now. Okay, this is the Max for Live patch, and it has some examples. For example, I made some patches, like this one. This changes things to a sysx format, which sends it out. So this is a custom helper patcher for me. For example, when I draw here in this 16x16 matrix some color, and I dump it out, I will see this here. So you have a good starting point to develop your own applications with this. For example, if you want to fiddle in here some displays, if you find place, I don't know, I don't think so, you could use my sysx protocol for LCDs, or clear all LEDs, or all vertical or all horizontal LEDs and so on, or clear all LCDs. For example, clear all. This is just a simple. This is just a simple and small sysx string, so we can clear all of it. There are also another examples. For example, this one. Here you get output from all the faders you have here. Okay, so I move these things here. On Trigger Matrix 5, this one, we have up to 16 faders, on mine 10 faders, and yeah. Okay, if you have encoders here, you can also use encoders. For example, digital I/O. Additional digital I/Os are adjustable about this pin headers here. So you connect here buttons or encoders or LEDs or so, and you can adjust them here then. Yeah, you have also another examples like single transmit of LED data. So we can also send out single LEDs to activate in 3 colors. Yeah. This mirrors this matrix, this extra horizontal and this extra vertical, this 1-to-1, and this 16-to-16 matrix. But there's also some protocols which save a lot of MIDI transfer, like this dump out thing here. When we open this patch, we send out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 cells at a time. Yeah, that spares some MIDI traffic. Yeah, here's the code itself from the patcher. The different modes, launch control and the clip control. For example, the launch control, you may see that it's well organized and color coded. It's not some weirdness, it's really sorted out. Okay, I use some patches which I reuse again and again, and had all the tricks I know since decades. Yeah. And There's the clip mode, for example. It's a bit weird at the moment because it's under developing. But it's not the first time I have done this. So yeah, that's about this patch. There's also the source code for the BLM. It's a MIDI box BLM adaptation, and the most of the things are just in the app C. And when you change, for example, there the MIDI port. Okay, that's about the source code for this, so you can change it and adapt it like you want. For example, there is the DIN BLM notify toggle. Here you have a switch between the three modes: the sequencer mode, the sysx mode, and the CC script mode. For example, the sysx controller mode is done here in it, and for the sysx for sequencer 4 plus you can use and adapt this. And here you have the output of all the button presses and so on, and send it via CC or sysx or via CC to the MIDI outputs. Yeah, and there's also the sysx parser, which is the main thing in this. The first is it checks the ID. The ID is 7070, and then it begins to listen. Then it sets the function, and after the function is set, we call the functions, and there are clear all LEDs, set one cell, say set 8 cells at once, and so on. And you can modify this and make new functions here. That's really no problem. There are a couple of there in there, so you can really find out fast how to make your own, because there are a lot of them here. Okay, so the source code is also for free, of course. Source code for the controller and the source code for the Max for Live patch, and also the remote script, so we get this red box in Ableton. That's all about it.